All right. The Pyramids of Montauk, Chapter 9, the Montauk Shaman. The deed for the Montauk property is a very important issue, and while not in any way trying to lessen that cause, the legacy of the pharaohs and their ancestry forces us to look at even deeper implications. As the recognized tribal leader of the Montauks, Bob Cooper has led me to the deed and the true history of his people. Next, he would do me an even greater service by arranging an introduction to Sharon Jackson, the shaman of the Montauks, who is a blood descendant of the pharaohs and is also known as Queen of the Montauks. In addition to the special legacy that has been handed down to her as a shaman, Sharon works as a minister and also runs an association to help children with AIDS. When we met, she told me that the Montauks had descended from the Lenape of the Delaware Valley, a great confederation that included 32 subdivisions. According to tradition, the Lenape always were. The Montauks were one of the three main divisions that inhabited what is now the New York metropolitan area. The Manituo occupied western Long Island and parts of New Jersey, and their totem animal was the turkey. The Unami lived in the areas of Brooklyn, Manhattan, and along the Hudson River. Their totem was the wolf. The Montauks were the chief tribe, and they filled up the rest of Long Island. The turtle was their sacred animal. Sharon explained that the Montauks had been very careful to preserve their heritage all along. The action of the court was hurtful and negative, but it by no means was a death blow. Hundreds of years ago, the Montauks split into two primary locales on Long Island. There was the Freetown branch in the Southampton area, and also the Eastville branch, who settled towards the middle of Long Island. The Freetown Montauks consisted of the Pharaoh family proper. In other words, these people carried the Pharaoh name. The Eastville Montauks were definitely related, but they were not recognized as Montauks because they didn't live near the area after having been systematically moved out. According to Sharon, the Eastville Montauks were more concerned with their spiritual heritage. It is impressive to listen to the shaman talk of the preservation instincts of her race. They have always been a quiet and unobtrusive people and have tended to intermarry within the tribe, primary for sheer survival of their heritage. Extensive genealogical records have been kept to back this up, and these should prove binding in any future court cases. Both Sharon Jackson and Robert Cooper told me that the entire history of the Montauks was being reconstructed and rewritten by Professor John Strong of Southampton College. His work is extensive and documented, and I am told that he is supremely confident the Montauks will win their case. Of course, this doesn't guarantee anything. The data may back up the Montauks, but all of us must ensure that no shifty business occurs. Anything can and might be tried. Since Preston and I met with Robert Cooper and befriended his cause, he has received scathing attacks in the local press that have erroneously called him a Black Native American and have otherwise sought to discredit him. After asking that accusations from different sources of police corruption be looked into, a local press article ran suggesting that he resign from the town council and give up his pension as a retired policeman. It was said his actions were irresponsible. Asking Bob about the matter, he said that he had made no accusations against anybody. He only asked that they be looked into. I relay all of this so you will know that there is no opposition to the Montauks and their claim to their rightful heritage. Any of you in the reading audience who can help are encouraged to do so. In fact, like chapter 5 or 6 of the Pyramids of Montauk, the video I made, has the P.O. box address where you can write if you wanted to help this Native American tribe out. As I spoke to the shaman, it was a relief for me. Now, this is also where the Netflix or that Stranger Things, the show Stranger Things, is based on this story. As I spoke to the shaman, or what more was kind of going on in the Camp Hero area with the clandestine operations. As I spoke to the shaman, it was a relief for me to hear that the Montauks were enough together to put up a fight. But I was also eager to find out if Sharon had heard of the Montauk Pyramids. Bob Cooper had not. I showed Sharon a copy of the photograph, and she gave a most interesting response. She said that Native people seldom build a structure so that you will automatically know what it is. The mysteries will lie in a different place. She noticed that the pyramids are in a line, and that is unusual for a native structure. Normally, mounds are in a circle or half-moon formation. According to her, this symbolized progression and indicated they were not of the earth. I then told her the legend that the mounds covered small block pyramids that were made of some sort of white stone. She then wondered if they could have been constructed from parts of Council Rock. Not knowing what Council Rock was, I asked Sharon to explain it. A large white rock with caramel streaks and underside, it appears to be made of milky quartz. Now situated in the midst of a cemetery near Montauk Manor. It served the Montauks as their major meeting place for centuries. Sharon told me that geologists have determined that the rock is not indigenous to the Montauk area, but would likely come from Mexico. It is too large to have been put aboard an ancient ship and adds one more piece of mystery to the enigma that is Montauk. While the puzzle of Council Rock remains unsolved at this writing, what the Montauk shaman said about the mysteries lying in a different place than the pyramids is noteworthy. With the help of at least one brilliant scholar, we will now examine Montauk's turtle code. Council Rock. Picture below is Council Rock, which has served as a meeting place for the Montauk Nation for many generations. Council Rock was moved from its original location when the Fort Hill Cemetery was established. How the rock was originally deposited at Montauk remains a mystery to this day. Montauk Community Church, located on Montauk Highway, just east of the town. Montauk Community Church was built with stones taken from the Montauk sacred burial grounds. All right, folks, that does it for chapter 9 of the Montauk Shaman. It was a little less dynamic than I had anticipated, but one must always, when one follows the way, the Tao, one must always preserve one's equanimity, one's balance and outlook, and always be in the now. Namaste. Namaskaram.